Welcome aboard Beyond the Engine Room, a podcast produced by Rob Peterson, an ex-Marine fitter who tells us about his travels around the globe, some of the characters he met, the ports he saw, and even a glimpse inside the engine room. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. We are diving deep today. Literally, we're going across the Atlantic.
Across the Atlantic?
Yeah, in 1991 with a guy named Rob.
Okay. Yeah, you don't think, international travel, so this is intriguing.
It is, and he's got a couple of colleagues along for the ride as well.
Oh, okay.
Paul, another worker from Grangetown. I can just picture them, two mates from Grangetown finding themselves on this crazy adventure together.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? 1 minute you're fixing things in Cardiff, the next minute you're on a plane to Portland, Oregon.
It's like something out of a movie.
And their supervisor, Dowd.
So a whole team's going over.
Yeah, a whole team flown in from the UK to the US. With Rob leaving from Gatwick Airport.
Okay.
And he's headed off to Portland, Oregon. And he's going to be joining the P&O Fair Princess cruise ship.
The Fair Princess, nice.
Yeah, which is in dry dock over on Swan Island.
Swan Island, I've heard of that.
Have you been there?
I haven't been there personally, but I've heard it's quite a sight.
Yeah. Well, we get some good descriptions of it.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that.
And, the flight from Gatwick to Portland, it's no joke. It's a long one.
It is a long haul, yeah.
Yeah. But I think Rob was probably pretty excited. Like, new adventure, new place, new ship to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think you mentioned dry dock, and, for people who may not know what dry dock is, it's essentially where they take the ship out of the water.
Yeah.
They put it in this big basin. They drain all the water out.
Like a giant bathtub.
It is. It is. And it's amazing because, when you see a ship in the water, it's impressive.
Yeah.
But when you see it out of the water and you see the scale of the hull, the propellers, everything, it's really a sight to behold.
Yeah. And he's met with this incredible sight, this huge shipyard and,
hustling.
Cranes and, just a ton of activity.
And noise, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And, of course, looming over it all is this massive cruise ship, the Fair Princess.
Yeah, so they really put these things up close and personal when they're in dry dock.
Yeah, and it makes you realize just how much work goes into maintaining these things,
Yeah, absolutely.
So Rob's not alone on this trip. He's joined by his usual partner in crime, Paul.
Okay, the dynamic duo.
Yeah, these guys, they're known as the Terrible Twins.
Oh, boy, that sounds like trouble.
That already tells you everything you need to know, right?
I think so, yeah. What kind of shenanigans are they up to?
Well, you're going to find out.
All right, I'm hooked.
So they're sharing a cabin, and I'm sure they're already cooking up some pranks.
Yeah, I mean, being stuck in a cabin together for who knows how long, they've got to find some way to entertain themselves.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we also meet another character in this story, a guy named John.
Okay.
Who is the boiler specialist.
The boiler specialist, so he's the guy who keeps the ship running.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Those boilers are essential.
They are huge, and I bet they're pretty temperamental.
Oh, I bet, especially on a ship that size.
Yeah, so John has a pretty interesting nickname.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
He's called Tomato Head.
Tomato Head. Now, how did he get a name like that?
I don't know if we ever find out the exact reason.
Okay.
But I can only imagine it's got something to do with either his appearance or maybe some incident with a boiler that left him red-faced.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
But anyway, he's a good sport about it, and, he's one of the guys.
Okay.
So one evening, the guys are all in the crew bar, just relaxing after a long day's work.
Unwinding a little bit.
Yeah. And John starts bragging about this date he has with a local lady.
Oh, a hot date.
Yeah, he's all excited about it.
I bet.
And, of course, Rob and Paul, being the terrible twins that they are, they try to invite themselves along.
Oh, no, they're not going to try to crash his date, are they?
Well, they try to get a ride with him.
Oh, okay.
Just casual, like, hey, John, mind if we tag along?
Smooth, real smooth.
But John's having none of it.
I bet he shut that down real quick.
He's like, no way, you guys are not ruining my date.
That's probably a good call on his part.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So anyway, the next evening rolls around.
Okay.
And Rob and Paul, they're heading out of the shipyard for the night.
All right.
And as they're walking towards the gate, they spot this lady waiting in a car.
Ooh, this is it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's John's date.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So Rob, being the smooth operator that he is, decides to take matters into his own hands.
Okay, what does he do?
He walks right up to the car and, very charmingly confirms that she's waiting for John.
Oh, no, he's playing with fire.
He is. And then get this, he manages to sweet talk her into giving him and Paul a ride.
No way. He actually pulled it off.
He did. And the story ends with John all dressed up excited for his date, walking towards the car, completely unaware that the terrible twins are waiting for him in the back seat.
Oh, man. I can only imagine his face when he sees them.
Yeah, I bet it was priceless. Rob's working on the Fair Princess, which is undergoing some serious maintenance, I guess, and he gets assigned to, you guessed it, the night shift in the engine room.
Oof. The engine room at night. I can only imagine. Not exactly a glamorous assignment.
Not at all. So Rob's not exactly thrilled about this night shift. But then things take an interesting turn, right?
They do. He shows up for his shift at 7 p.m., ready for a long night's work. But the night shift supervisor, a guy named John, basically tells him you can lock off early.
Wait, seriously? Just like that?
Yep. A couple of minor tasks, and John sends Rob back to his cabin by 11 p.m.
Wow, that's surprising. I'd be wondering what was going on. Was John just super confident in Rob's abilities, or was there something else at play?
It's hard to say for sure. Maybe John was just being a nice guy. Or maybe those extra hours were more valuable to Rob outside the engine room.
Valuable indeed. And that's where the real fun begins, right? Rob ends up with all this unexpected free time in Portland, but he's got to be clever about it.
Clever and a little bit sneaky. He gets a full night's sleep, and then before the day crew shows up, he heads back down to the engine room and, wait for it, rubs soot all over his face and hands.
He did not. That's hilarious.
It is. He's trying to make it look like he's been working hard all night. The dedication to having a good time off the ship is impressive.
Seriously.
Remember, the Fair Princess is still in dry dock undergoing maintenance, and one of the crucial tasks is firing up the boiler.
Right. You mentioned that last time. It sounds pretty intense.
Oh, it is. It's not just a matter of flicking a switch. You can't just blast a cold boiler with a ton of heat, you know.
Makes sense, but I'm curious. Why not? What's the big deal about firing up a boiler?
Think of it this way. A boiler is like a giant metal beast. You got to wake it up slowly and carefully, or you risk damaging it.
I get it. So, like, if you heat it up too quickly, what happens?
You get something called thermal shock. Imagine pouring boiling water into a freezing cold glass. What happens?
It cracks.
Exactly. The sudden change in temperature is too much for the glass to handle, and the same principle applies to boilers. The metal needs time to adjust to the heat.
So it's a slow, deliberate process.
Very much so. And it involves multiple steps, precise timing, and careful monitoring.
And Rob is left in charge of this delicate procedure.
Well, not exactly in charge. Remember John, the night shift supervisor?
Oh, yeah, the guy who gave Rob the night off.
The one and only. Well, on this particular night, John decided that dancing was a higher priority than supervising the boiler firing.
He's off dancing while the boiler needs to be lit. Seriously.
You got it. Seems there was some kind of dance happening on the ship that night, and John, being John, couldn't resist a good time.
Wow. I can only imagine Rob's reaction. He's stuck with this complex task, and his supervisor is out cutting a rug.
Exactly. As the time for firing up the boiler approaches, Rob realizes he needs John's expertise. There are certain decisions that need to be made, checks that need to be performed, but John is nowhere to be found.
Oh, no, that's a problem. So what did he do?
Well, he couldn't just leave the boiler unattended, could he? So he had no choice but to go find John.
I bet that was a fun conversation.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Picture this. Rob, covered in soot and grime from working in the engine room, has to go up to the nightclub, interrupt the dance, and drag John away from his good time.
That's too funny. Can you imagine the looks on everyone's faces?
Must have been priceless. And Rob sums up this whole ordeal with one simple phrase. Only on SGM.
So picture this. It's late afternoon. The Fair Princess is all set to start her journey, right? But instead of heading out to the open ocean, get this, they're going up the Columbia River.
Up the Columbia?
Up the river.
Huh, so this is like the 90s, right?
1991.
Yeah? Okay, so back then, the Columbia, it wasn't the superhighway for those massive cargo ships that you see today?
Totally different scene back then.
Yeah. You'd have had smaller vessels, maybe even some leftovers from the old logging industry.
You know what else Rob mentions? He talks about all these isolated cabins along the riverbanks.
Isolated cabins. Now that's my kind of detail. You know how much I love digging into those lives lived off the beaten path?
Oh, yeah, I knew you'd love that part.
Makes you wonder about those folks, doesn't it? Watching this huge cruise ship just glide past their little cabins.
Totally. So Rob, because he was a contractor, not a regular crew member, he had access to a special spot on the ship.
Oh, yeah. What was it, like a secret lounge or something?
Even better, He could go to the officer's bar.
No way.
Oh.
The officer's bar. But those are usually off limits to everyone except, well, the officers.
Exactly, but not for Rob.
You've got your passengers at the top, then your officers, then your crew, and then somewhere in there you've got your contractors.
So they're like in this weird in-between space.
Totally. Not quite crew, not quite passengers.
So where do they fit in? I mean, socially.
Right. Are they accepted? Or are they outsiders looking in? I'd love to know how Rob felt about all that.
I think this next part kind of gives us a clue. So picture Rob, right? He's hanging out in the crew bar with his buddies Paul and Johnny.
Okay.
2 new cabin stewardesses walk in.
All right, classic cruise ship story.
So one of them turns to Rob and asks, "What's your rank?"
Uh-oh.
And without missing a beat, Paul jumps in and says, "He's the entertainment officer."
Uh-huh. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the look on those stewardesses' faces.
Oh, I bet they were totally flustered.
I bet they were. Classic Paul, though, right? Injecting a little humor into this very rigid, very hierarchical ship life. Yeah, because where were they headed next?
So they sail down the Pacific coast all the way to San Pedro,
San Pedro, the port of Los Angeles.
the one and only.
Whoa! Talk about a culture shock. Going from the isolation of the shipyard to the hustle and bustle of San Pedro.
I can't even imagine.
You've got those tough dock workers, tourists fresh off the boat, maybe even a Hollywood star or two wandering around. What a scene.
You're painting quite the picture.
It was a melting pot of cultures and industries, and I bet after weeks in a shipyard, it must have felt like stepping onto another planet.
Totally. And speaking of culture shock,
What happened?
Rob and Paul decided to have a night out in L.A. Hit a few bars, you know.
All right, I'm listening.
Rob ends up chatting with some local guy,
Oh.
and the guy invites him to a party.
Oof. Always got to be careful with those random party invites.
And that's where Paul steps in. Like the good friend he is, he warns Rob.
Okay, good. What did he say?
He says, and I quote, "You might end up in a room with a donkey and a video camera."
Oh, wow. That's a warning you don't forget.
Right.
Only Paul could come up with something like that. But hey, at least he was looking out for his friend, right?
Absolutely. Set sail from Los Angeles.
Okay, the journey begins.
And you can just feel the excitement building, right? Heading south, knowing those Mexican beaches are getting closer.
Sunshine and margaritas on the horizon?
Well, not quite yet. Their first stop is Puerto Vallarta.
Ah, beautiful Puerto Vallarta.
But here's the catch. They couldn't go ashore.
Oh,
Work kept them on board, which must have been a bit of a tease, wouldn't you say?
a real letdown. So close yet so far.
Exactly. But hey, it probably made the anticipation for their next stop even higher.
Where to next, then?
Mazatlán. And this is where things get a bit more, shall we say, lively.
Mazatlán, known for its vibrant nightlife, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
A popular spot, especially for cruise ship crews.
So I'm guessing some well-deserved R&R was on the agenda.
You could say that. They had half a day of freedom, and while Dowd, went for some quiet time on the beach,
Feels relaxing.
Rob and Paul, they had different plans.
Let me guess, Senor Frogs.
Bingo. That legendary establishment known for its, well, festive atmosphere.
I've heard the stories. A rite of passage for anyone working on the ships.
And let's just say when they met up with Dowd again, they were refreshed, shall we say.
I can only imagine. Sounds like Mazatlán lived up to its reputation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the Mexican adventure wasn't over yet.
There's more.
One last stop, Cabo San Lucas. Now picture this. They're on deck looking out at those pristine beaches, those fancy resorts.
The allure of Cabo.
And I bet they were wishing they could trade their work boots for flip-flops just for a day.
I can see it now, them longingly gazing from the ship.
Exactly. But hey, duty calls. All right, so after Cabo,
Mm-hmm.
it's back to L.A.
Okay.
and then a flight home to the U.K.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're tired.
Oh, yeah.
With some good stories.
I get that.
But here's what I'm really curious about.
Yeah.
That unexpected ending
Yeah.
at the pub.
Right.
So they land back in Cardiff.
Uh-huh.
Dowd is driving the rental car.
Okay.
He asks, "Where do you guys want to get dropped off?"
Yeah.
And they both say,
Yeah.
"Just drop us at the Packet."
The packet.
Yeah. So the Packet, for everyone listening,
Right.
is this well-known pub in Cardiff's Docklands.
Okay.
But it's not just any pub. It's like this hub for the shipyard community.
Gotcha.
And that's what's so interesting.
Yeah.
They walk in, luggage and all,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like they never left.
Right.
Seamlessly back into this familiar scene.
Right.
It almost makes me think that
Yeah.
for them coming home wasn't just about being back in Cardiff,
Yeah.
but about being back at the Packet,
Right.
back with their people.
Yeah, with their people.
It
Exactly.
makes you think about like the role of these pubs,
Yeah.
especially in port cities.
Yeah.
They're more than just places to drink.
Mm.
They're like anchors for these communities.
Absolutely.
These places where stories are shared and bonds are formed.
Thanks for joining us on Beyond the Engine Room. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with others who might find it fascinating. See you next time on the Open Seas.